Back-to-back matinees over the weekend. I guess if you say so, not a huge fan of these, because after getting absolutely embarrassed by the Philadelphia Flyers yesterday afternoon, well, the Edmonton Oilers, they got no time to dwell on that loss. Less than 24 hours later, they're in Washington against the number 2 team in the entire NHL in the Capitals. Not going to get any easier this afternoon. Hello, what up, and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant and a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app, use the promo code NATION. I see Bosch says, is a morning game a matinee? On the East Coast, it's 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm calling that a matinee game. As you see on the screen, whose hair is looking just fantastic today. It's my boy, Matthew Wozniak, Brett Holden, producing behind the scenes. But Woz, how we doing, my boy?
I'm doing great. I feel great. I woke up around 8 a.m. just to get ready for this game. So it's nice because, you know, for us, we do the show and we watch the game and then we have the rest of the day to ourselves.
I love early games. They're my favorite thing in the world because I then get an evening, which boy, oh boy, did I have one last night. So I do apologize for the 30-minute show today, but it's an early one. We don't have really any confirmed Edmonton Oilers news. The one thing we do know, Kasperi Kapanen into the lineup, Matthias Janmark out of the lineup. Shout out to our boy, Tony Brar. And frankly, I'm still pissed off about what happened in that game yesterday, which is probably why a game less than 24 hours later is a good thing. I joked yesterday, you take that tape, you take it out back, you bury it. There's nothing you can learn from that one, but I guess Matt Savoy, there was a positive in there as well. So we got a quicker version of pre-gaming today, speed gaming, if you will. But first, I want to get an ad read in for Odd Company Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for game day, perfect for every day. I had so many of these last night. They were fantastic. They went down smooth. And they also helped me forget about that Edmonton Oilers shellacking at the hands of the Philadelphia Flyers yesterday. Get them 2 locations in the Edmonton area, downtown or the Ritchie location. Or, of course, check out liquorconnect.com. Let's check in with some people in the chat. Austin was in. He's in and says, let's fire it up, Bordzy. We know what needs to happen. Let's get her going, my ON family. Number 1 fan. Let's hope the real Oilers show up today. Here is to hoping, brother, because I don't know who those imposters were yesterday afternoon. Lance is in and said, I just woke up. Frankly, I can agree with that one as well. I can resonate with that, Lance. Hunter's in. Can we talk about Skinner's 2-week break? My God, the dude just had a second child literally 3 weeks ago. Also, as a toddler, he did not get to rest for 2 weeks. We talked about Stu yesterday on the post-game show. Not his best effort. I'm not going to entirely blame that game on Stuart Skinner. The team was dog shit, but Stuart Skinner also a little bit dog shit as well. Bob Stauffer, he was on to one. He guessed. He was hoping Broadzilla, Big Waz, and Brett. What do you think of the nickname Big Waz?
I'm not even that big, man. Like, I had someone comment the other day on a TikTok of mine. It's like, oh, Wazzy losing some pounds. I'm like, what are we doing here? What do you mean? So I'll take it. I it's a compliment from Bob Stauffer.
My boy has been in the gym recently. I do know that. So shout out to you, Waz. Sean H., not Horkoff, says Pickard has become the number 1. Ride him. Yeah, a little bit more on that in our starting goaltender report. And then Rusty's in. I'd love to stick around in the chat to argue about stuff, but I can't. Have a great show, Bordzy. Let's go Oilers. And then, it's the only one to say it, Cup, yeah, in there from Southpaw. Happy game day all. Let's hope for better all-around effort than yesterday's game. Let's go Oilers. And that's just it. Nice. Shut up, Brett, behind the scenes. Give me the echoey cup here as well, because let's talk about it for one time here, and then we're not going to bring it up again. The Edmonton Oilers fast asleep in yesterday's game. Completely lifeless effort out there. Sleepy in their own zone or in the neutral zone. Brutal turnovers, 3 of them resulting in goals going back the other way. Multiple odd man rushes coming against the Edmonton Oilers. And like I said, I'm not putting that entire game on Stuart Skinner yesterday. Would I have liked him to be better? Sure. But there is a long list of players in yesterday's game that frankly sucked. Matt Savoy was a bright spot. John Klingberg was a bright spot. Pretty much ends right around there for what was positive out of there. But the point I want to make, it is just one game. It is a matinee early game after a 2-week hiatus. I understand the frustration from the fans, the panic, the anger, the everything.
Oh.
But frankly, if the Oilers go out today and they go and beat the second best team in the NHL in the Washington Capitals, I bet we all forget about what went down yesterday. Kind of nice that it's such a turnaround, such a quick turnaround, rather. And the Oilers get a dub today. It makes yesterday go down a whole lot smoother.
Yeah, and we kind of quickly forget where the Oilers are in the standings. And of course, it's no excuse to how they played last night. It was a terrible outing from almost everybody. It seemed like every time the puck got near Stuart Skinner, it was going in the net. There were brutal giveaways from not just Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse, Matthias Janmark, the entire team other than Matt Savoy. I would say even Connor McDavid and Draisaitl. Everyone else played pretty piss poor. And, I did see a lot of overreacting on social media, as Oilers fans do. And yes, Stuart Skinner played brutal. Bouchard did not play great, but the team as a whole they didn't wake up for that game against Philly. And I saw like some people suggest, you gotta trade Bouchard for Seth Jones. You gotta trade him now. It's just fire the whole team into the sun. It's like it kind of felt like were we watching a team that's bottom in the NHL standings? No, it was a terrible outing, and there was a couple teams around the NHL that had tough games coming back from the Four Nations. I mean, the Florida Panthers lost, the Colorado Avalanche lost to the Nashville Predators. Just an ugly game.
Remember last year after the All-Star break, the Oilers, 16 wins in a row, go and play the Vegas Golden Knights, didn't have their best effort. But once again, they were a good team last season. They went to Game 7 of the Cup Final. Bad games will happen. I mention it all the time. And grab that win today, and I'll feel really good. One positive was Matt Savoy was one of, if not the only bright spot. I did mention John Klingberg. He's just getting better and better and better with every game. Obviously scored his first goal, but Savoy records his first NHL point in his Edmonton Oilers debut. He was a solid surprise on Leon's wingman. I think all of us are very committed to the fact you can't overreact, you can't underreact, but the eye test was there yesterday. You just were able to see the instincts of Matt Savoy that you simply cannot teach. His hockey sense is very apparent. He is very quick with his decision-making with the puck on his stick. He's just a very smart hockey player. Had a great assist on that Leon Draisaitl goal where undersized wins the battle against two Flyers defensemen and spits that puck out to the best goal scorer in the NHL. Nobby's been very clear that he intends to give Matt Savoy a consistent run here, and specifically in the top 6 with Leon Draisaitl. And after one game, felt pretty damn good about that decision, Nobby. He was pretty good. What'd you think of Matt Savoy's debut?
It was a near perfect debut, other than maybe not scoring an NHL goal. And especially with this coaching staff, you want to impress them early, as we've learned this year. Jeff Skinner did not impress the coaching staff early, and he's been kind of stapled to the bottom 6, rotated throughout the lineup. So for Matt Savoy, if he wants to stay with this team going forward, I think he did a good. He had a good showing in his first game.
Absolutely. And then today, the Washington Capitals, right? The number 2. Now they're number 2 in the entire NHL. They're 1 point back of the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets have 83. The Capitals have 82 through 56 games this season. And right now, the Capitals are 9 points shy of matching the 91 points that they had last season when they made the NHL playoffs. Squeaked in at the end of the season and then got shellacked by the New York Rangers. The Caps, they ranked 2nd in goals for this entire season with 204. They also ranked 3rd in goals against with 140 of them against. Both their special teams units are above average. Their goaltending in Logan Thompson has been absolutely unbelievable. Thank the Lord we're not seeing him today. We're getting Charlie Lindgren as Logan Thompson played yesterday when the Capitals, I'm going to say shellacked a lot today. They shellacked the Penguins 8-3 yesterday, and the Caps, right, they retooled. They made some moves in the offseason and during the year. Jacob Chikrin, PLD, Andrew Mangiapane. You bring in Logan Thompson. You're sneaky, weird Capitals. It's very weird. It makes me feel weird at points. You've been following this team all year. You went to the last
Yeah.
game when they were here in Edmonton. I think I speak for everyone when no one saw this coming this season. It's absolutely insane what's going on, but it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, considering they're top 2 in the NHL right now in points, and they don't have a single player in the NHL in the top 15 for points in general. I know Ovi's been leading them in goals, but he doesn't even get a ton of ice time. They're very they choose when to put him out there. Obviously, he's chasing the record, but like overall, it's just a team that's kind of gelled well, and they're getting goal scoring from all throughout the lineup. Their defense has been solid, and Logan Thompson has provided really good goaltending for them.
I mean, it starts and stops with Logan Thompson there. When you have a goaltender like that, you can do everything. His record, he has 2 regulation losses this season, 25, 2, and 5. That doesn't even make sense in my brain that you can have 2 regulation losses at this point. It's nuts. But okay, we got to go quick. Let me get a read in here. Need to know info for Willock beef jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn that sweet, sweet Willock name. Made from 100% pure Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, marinated to savory perfection. You can find their stuff and more information at willhawkbeefjerky.com. So the Edmonton Oilers, I regret to inform you, are now second place in the Pacific Division after losing to the Flyers yesterday, and Vegas had a 3-1 win over the Vancouver Canucks. The Oil now 2 points back of Vegas, but they do have 1 game in hand. We got some news earlier, lineup news from Tony Brar, saying that Kapanen would be in for Matthias Janmark. And then we just got some news here with the lineup. Brett, hit it for me and we can all go through this together, because my, oh my, I didn't see this one coming. Top line, Vasily Podkolzin with Connor McDavid and Kasperi Kapanen. What? Second line, Corey Perry with Leon Draisaitl and Matt Savoy. I do love that line. I like that as a second line there. Your third one, which is a supreme scoring line, Arvidsson with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. And then your fourth line, another scoring line, Skinner, Rico, and Connor Brown. Deep pairings, Ekholm and Bush, Nurse with Emberson, and Brett Kulak with John Klingberg. I look at Emberson with Nurse, and I say, shit, my tattoo band. I'm a little bit worried about that. He's going to be getting some more ice time. And then obviously Calvin Pickard is going to get the start. I think Final Buzzer says it well. What the hell? And Sergeant Battle's in here and says, truly a lineup of all time. I like the depth it provides for your bottom 3 lines there, but Connor McDavid getting a little bit shafted with his line mates today. Thoughts on that top line?
That looks like a top line you would see with Leon Draisaitl. Kapanen just, he didn't play last game, is now playing on the first line. Poor Jeff Skinner still on the fourth line. They still can't figure that out. I'm just glad Draisaitl and Savoy is sticking together. I think some people, like the Bouchard haters, like, why didn't Bouchard get benched? Why is he not scratched yet? That bull crap. But I'm kind of glad Matthias Janmark's not playing. Call me crazy. That was kind of a tough turnover the other game. It's nice to see him experiment a little bit more with the lineup. So I'm excited to see what it's going to do.
That top line is a line. I will say that. I like your point there. That's something that Leon Draisaitl has been dealing with for his entire career. And maybe this is just belief in depth all over the lineup. You're going to pick and choose your spots to go out there and try and get matchups against the Capitals. But Pods and Kapanen with Connor McDavid. I mean, we've seen it. Connor can make any schlub. He could probably get me an NHL point out there at points, but this is interesting. We'll see if he just has 2 wrecking balls, right? Vasily Podkolzin and Kapanen there. That is kind of both their MOs. Bigger guys like to bang and crash down low and retrieve pucks, get them to 97. So who knows? We will see. I laughed. Somebody just said in here, should we call Nobby's sponsor? I think he may be back on the wagon. This is a blender day of all blender days. You see Michaels puts their Jack Michaels, sorry, all 4 lines different than yesterday. Then finally, you see on the bottom as well, Calvin Pickard getting the start, 14-5-0 record, 2.52 goals against, 901 save percentage of picks. He's won 6 of his last 7 games, and you're all in the chat. We all read it. People calling picks the new 1A here between Stewart, Skinner, and Pickard. I don't know. We'll get into that in just a second. Capitals side of need to know information. 37, 11, and 8 record this season. First in the Metro, second in the entire NHL. And the Capitals, they get in depth scoring all over, especially in their top six. They might see all 6 of their top 6 forwards, their consistent top 6 forwards, all hit the 20 goal mark this season. Ovi, he's already got 26. Tom Wilson, he's got 25. How do I say it again? Alexei Protas.
Yes, you got that right. Yeah.
He's got a career high 23 goals. Connor McMichael has 20 goals. Dylan Strome is at 17. PLD is at 13. This team has dudes all over the lineup that might, as you mentioned, not be at the top of NHL scoring races, but they can do it, whoever is out there on the ice. And then remember, can't forget about the grade 8 goal chase going on right now. He's got 26 goals through 39 games this season. It's kind of baffling, very surprising. He had 31 goals in 79 games last year. He is currently 15 back of the great ones, 894 goals. Other lineup note I did see from our boy Mark Spector, Tom Wilson is a game time decision, so we will find out that as we get a little bit closer. And then Charlie Lindgren expected to get the start, 12-9-3 record, 263 goals against with an even 900 save percentage. Let's go now. Sherwood Ford Giant storyline brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant for a reason. Hockey fans helping hockey fans. Free valet service for all Oilers fans. Never visit the dealership again for car service. Get an exclusive swag package with every Nation Valet service booked online and automatically be entered to win a monthly prize draw. Book online at sherwoodford.ca. Make sure you add in Oilers Nation Valet in the comments and you can get into the draw. Storyline? Forgive my language, it's early, but time to wake the fuck up. Yesterday was embarrassing as it could possibly be, one that barely had any positives. And like I mentioned earlier, I understand the frustration, but if you go out and beat the Washington Capitals, one of the best teams in the league, you're going to be feeling good. Memories will be short-lived. We will all sleep well tonight. Don't give me the Sunday scaries this evening. I do not want back-to-back losses. I also had it here. If the Oilers were to lose this afternoon, they would have their first 3-game losing skid since early this season back in October. And then the schedule doesn't get any kinder. If you look at it, after this game, Lightning on Tuesday, Panthers on Thursday, Hurricanes on Saturday. Shout out to Brett pulling up the schedule right there. So for me, wake up. No more sleepy turnovers in your own end. You had your fuck around game. You had time to mess around yesterday. Time to get serious and look like the Stanley Cup contender that we know the Oilers are. What's your storyline or your key to victory?
My key to victory here is going to be, I want to say goaltending, Calvin Pickard. I'm very curious to see how he's going to perform against a top team in the NHL. I think that's one issue, fans have had with Pickard is that he's only started against bottom tier teams in this league and that the Oilers kind of cherry pick his starts. So I'm curious to see how he's going to play against the Capitals and just, a better response from the Oilers is what we need.
Here's to hoping, brother. Here's to hoping. And then, Bert, if you want to put the lineup up one more time that we just got it announced there, courtesy of our boy, Jack Michaels. So Matthias Janmark, I like that he's held accountable by Chris Knobloch because he didn't have a good game, had a brutal turnover in the neutral zone. Brett Kulak was also a little bit too up on the ice, allowed it to go back the other way. But there's so much competition in this team right now and in that forward group, specifically on the wings, that, hey, if you don't play well, I love that Nobby's going to take you out of the lineup and hold everybody accountable, and everybody's going to be that much hungrier. Kapanen goes from not in the lineup to Connor McDavid's wing in less than 24 hours. So on this team, you got to be ready in any possible situation. We know the line blender mid-game, between games like this, you got to be ready to rock. But one thing that we need to mention that happened yesterday, Evan Bouchard had a And another brutal game in a long list of brutal games so far this season. I was talking on Pregaming like an idiot, saying I thought this break would be so beneficial to Evan Bouchard for him to step out for a couple weeks, not think about hockey. I was so confident he would come back refreshed and be that player from the Stanley Cup playoffs. Well, I was dead wrong about that one, because 2 minutes into the game, he's having brutal errors, turnovers that then come back the other way. And it just was not one of Bouchard's best games. And I'd love to ask you, I'm curious what you'll say. Can we expect a Bouchard bounce back game today, right? Because the dude knows that he played brutal yesterday. Like, we don't got to tell him. I'm sure Nobby didn't have to say much. He knows when he has a bad game. I'd like to sit here and tell you that I'm confident he will turn it around today. But I have no reason to feel confident about that. What'd you think of Bouch yesterday? What do you think we're going to get today?
In Bouch, I was disappointed, because someone who believes in Bouchard and is a Bouchard truther, it's tough to see those games because those giveaways are ugly. And I just felt like he was not patient with the puck, and a lot of Oilers were not. So I'm hoping that was a nice wake-up call, a slap in the face. Hey, I got to play better. There's a lot of pressure on me. I play, with Matthias Ekholm, I get some of the most minutes on the ice, right? I'm trusted to have the puck for a reason. So Bouchard, please prove us wrong, because we know you can be better.
Yeah, I see some people here in the chat. We got some Bouch believers. Lance Kane, one of them. Believe in the Bouchard. Yes, Bouch will bounce back 100,000%, or maybe 1,000,000%. Who knows? Bob Stauffer. Bouch had good plays, just bad ones as well. He's rusty. And that has always been the classic Bouchard. I've said it a million times on this show. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. And yesterday, it definitely killed the Edmonton Oilers. We got to go quick here, so let's move to our starting goaltender report, brought to you by the fine folks at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, home of the $50 bi-weekly ATV, or be on a boat next summer for as low as $105 bi-weekly. Hockey fans, helping hockey fans get set for their next adventures with motorcycles, quads, e-bikes, boats, scooters, whatever adult toy, that you can think of, at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. They are going to be in there. The goaltending matchup, it's Pickard, it's Lindgren. And I keep saying it, Stu wasn't good yesterday, but nobody on that team in front of him was good as well. And with the back-to-back, we're getting picks today. Fans have been coming at Stu for quite some time now, and it's nothing new in Oilers land, going at a goalie or Dustin Schwartz. And a lot of people are calling, I think it was Sean H in there, Picks is the new 1A. And while I don't know about that, Pickard lately, you could argue, has been more consistent. I like that you mentioned he does get more of the cherry-picked matchups, but it is worth noting that this weekend, Nobby gave Skinner the clear, much shittier opponent in the Philadelphia Flyers, and he gave Pickard the clear, much better opponent in the Washington Capitals. I don't know if I can read too much into that, because Stu is the 1A. I think he wants to get the first game, but it is worth noting, right? Because Pickard has always been getting the Blackhawks games, the Sharks games, the shitty teams, the Kraken games. But here we are, Pickard against the number 2 team in the NHL. What was your thought of how Nobby deployed the goaltenders this weekend?
I didn't think too much of it. I think for, Stuart Skinner, it was just kind of getting him going, getting him up and running, and they gave him the first game back. And, it's a back-to-back. You got to make those decisions. And I think for Calvin Pickard, I think the last really good team he played was the Minnesota Wild back in December, where I think the Oilers won 7-1, but he had a really good save percentage, I remember. So, once again, good test for Pickard. And that's one thing the Oilers fans have complained about, is that Calvin Pickard always starts against bottom Peter teams. So curious to see how this one's going to go. I anticipate a bad goal will be allowed, but I think Pickard can stand on his head.
I was just going to say, I think Pickard in the second half of this game will do what he always does, stands on his head. But I am a betting man, and he does tend to have one squeaker per game when you go, oh, I didn't like that one. Then he tends to make up for it. Picks, can't say enough good things about him, right? 14-6-0, 252 goals against, 901 save percentage. Those are great backup goaltender numbers. Let's see if he can do it against an elite team in the Capitals. I see some questions in here. Is Logan Thompson starting for the Capitals? No, he's not, baby. It's Charlie Lindgren. Thank you. Thank you, Lord, for that, because Logan Thompson, insane this year. We all know it. But Lindgren, he's been good, dude. 12-9-3, 2.63 record, 900 save percentage. I'll be honest with you. I do not watch a ton of Capitals games. Don't watch a ton of Charlie Lindgren tape. But when you look at Logan Thompson's numbers, he's third in the NHL in save percentage, fifth in goals against. He's 25-2-5. It's a victory. I'm taking a victory lap that he will be sitting on the bench for this game, Waz.
Yeah, and another stat that fans have been loving to say out there is goals saved above expected. I believe Logan Thompson is the best in the NHL, so that's another reason. Good. He's not playing, so but Charlie Lindgren's a great backup. I think him and Thompson have been a great 1A, 1B in Washington, and I think it's a reason why they've been so successful this year as well. Just being able to have that, a goalie who can push the other one a little bit more. And I think another reason why the Oilers fans want another goalie is someone who can push Stuart Skinner, and they see what's happening in Washington. It's like, well, it's working there. It can work here.
Yeah, you're going to need that internal competition, dude. It's always, it's always going to make you build up and try and be better. Let's go quick. 30-minute show going by fast, going by real fast here. Let's get the away lineup brought to you by Greta Bar Yeg. We were there yesterday, and we had a fantastic time for Brunch for Ben. And if you missed that event, people, don't worry. We got another one coming up March 14th, downtown Greta Bar. Edmonton takes on New York, and get your shot at an unforgettable nation vacation to Vegas. One lucky winner and their guest will travel with the Oilers Nation crew and the nation's citizens to fabulous Viva Las Vegas for what could be the trip of a lifetime. I am super excited for this one. How to win: you purchase a ticket, you're automatically entered into a draw to compete in the Oodle Noodle Travel Trivia Round, where we're going to be doing trivia at Greta. You're going to have to answer some stuff. Ty's going to be doing the trivia. I am impartial because I might try and play favorites. It's what I do. But get out to Greta, get your tickets, nationgear.ca. General admission, $10. Imagine you paid $10 to come on the nation vacation for free for you and a guest as well. March 14th, get your ass down to Greta Bar Yeg. But all right, Bert, hit it for me. The projected Washington Capitals lineup. It's Ovi with Strome and Protoss. Second line, Connor McMichael with PLD and Tom Wilson here. I know he was a game time decision. I'll find that out in just a second. Andrew Mangiapane with Lars Eller and Ethan Frank. Fourth line, Brandon Duhaime with Nick Dowd and Taylor Radish. And then your D pairings, Rasmus Sandin with John Carlson, Martin Farabee with Matt Roy, Jacob Trickern with TVR. Was give me your player to watch out of all these guys, maybe specifically the forward group, if you will, because as I mentioned, depth scoring all over this lineup.
I'm going to go give it to Ethan Frank, who has 4 goals in 15 games. He's a rookie, undrafted. He's made a little bit of noise in that lineup and obviously earning him a few more minutes. So Ethan Frank, keep an eye on him. He's sneaky good.
I am going to go with, because I see he is confirmed in the lineup, Tom Wilson, dude. Biz wouldn't shut up about him during the entire Team Canada 4 Nations thing, saying how he wanted Tom Wilson to be on the team because he's one of those guys. He's got skills, he's got hands, but he's also got some nastiness and a mean streak to him. So keep your eyes peeled on Tom Wilson, and specifically keep your head up on the ice when he is out there as well. Let's go. Bordzy's Bankroll brought to you by Bet365. Download the app today, because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bert, hit it for me, brother, because we got 3 of these today. Yesterday, didn't go well. I went 1 for 3. I mean, I think I got the most juiced up one. I was chasing shot props. The Oilers put up 18 shots. It was hard to profit. So today, this was before I knew these lineups. So now everything's just messed up and all over the place. But Nuge, over 1.5 shots on goal. Line moved down. It's not that juicy, but it's minus 140, I believe, in the Nuggie. Yesterday, Bagel. He had 0 shots on goal. Then this one, I mean, with those line mates that he now has, maybe he's going to be shooting the puck a little bit more, but it's a number 97 anytime goal plus 130. I believe that says there as well. And then Leon, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 2+ points, currently plus 132. Get some juice there. He's got Perry. He's got Savoy on his wings. Which of these three do you like the most?
I will go Draisaitl 2+ points because he has been an absolute wagon for the Edmonton Oilers, so I love that one.
Yep, I agree. I think I'm not using the L word, but that one just feels good. And I mentioned everybody else got new line mates. He still got Savoy, and he's got a very consistent and well-rested Corey Perry, the worm, on his line. Before we go, give me a score prediction and an anytime goal scorer. How does this one go down?
Anytime goal scorer, we are going to go basic Leon Draisaitl, 4-3 win for the Oilers.
Ooh. I think I'm going to go 4-3 win as well, dude. And I think I just saw some of those in the chat. Ryan S., 4-3 Oilers. Mr. Burns, 5-1 Oil. Love that with the Zach Hyman goal. Sadistic 4-2. I'm also going to say 4-3 with the number 97 anytime goal. Sorry for the 30-minute show here today, folks. It was early. We didn't have much news. And frankly, we got all that news at the 30-minute mark. So that was speed gaming with Bordzy right there. I love you all. We will be right here live on the ON YouTube for Oilers Nation After Dark. And Brett, I know, I see it. We got a super chat in here from Bob Stauffer. Reminder, all of your donations in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation. Bob Stauffer, $6.99, and he says lineup is definitely because the Caps have the best 4 overall lines in the league, essentially. Let's go here, boys. Big is for Legends was fire. That didn't really make sense, but I will read whatever is on there if you put it in a super chat. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Throw down your courtesy like, and we will be live right here, hopefully breaking down at least a better effort than what we saw yesterday in Philadelphia. Good luck, everybody. I hope that goes positively. I don't want to do the same show we did yesterday because that sucked. Let's go Oilers. Oil up. Let's ride.